you will understand why they would say it is confusing. Who is texting me now? Which Dexter is that? Welcome into the live, Dexter. Thank you so much for stopping by. Irma and Miriam and the others. So, guys, you all are perfectly welcome to stay. You're perfectly welcome to listen to me as I stumble over the contents of the Bible. You are perfectly welcome to listen. I know a lot of you here, you don't like to hear anybody say anything controversial about the Bible. You have this fear, you have this innate fear that if somehow you question the contents of the Bible or you say something that is contrary to what is in the Bible, there is some kind of place with fire that is waiting for you, and there is somebody somewhere who is going to destroy you, who is going to cause a curse upon you, who is going to cause your children to die, and all of this. I understand where you're coming from with that. But please, don't come in my chat to tell me when I have a question or a concern or a confusion sometimes about what I'm reading in the Bible, that I'm going to go to that place and those things are going to happen to me. Kick rocks with that one. We ain't going there. Okay? Because if somebody gives you something and gives you a book and tells you, you need to read this book, and whatever is in this book is what you need to believe and it's what you need to follow, but you never spend time to read that book for yourself, I don't want to call you foolish, but your very own Bible would call you that. It would call you a fool. You got to read it and know what is in it before you start using it to convert, condemn, and criticize other people. Some of y'all only know 2 verses in the Bible. You only know 2 full chapters. Some of you only know 2 full chapters in the Bible. And you all are ready and waiting like a viper to strike on people, to tell people they need to read the Bible and they need to follow what's in the Bible. And you think you can follow what's in the Bible? Who you want to go unalive and take their land? Talk to me. Who you want to go unalive and take their land? Who you want to cry down curses on? Huh? Read it for yourself. And some of you are like contention and you like to argue. And I ain't in the argument. If you got something positive to contribute to the chat, you are welcome. Okay, Madama and Laurel and Kay and Terence. TikTok said 12 people who have passed through the live are my friends. 12 people. It could have been even one. I appreciate you all. Winsome, how are you doing, Sister Winsome? Good to see you. Good to see you. So, guys, I am streaming on the Talk and on the Tube. So, if you are on either platforms, you will be able to listen to this morning's reading. All right, Audrey. So this morning we are going to be reading the book of Malachi. So you pronounce it Malachi, however you pronounce it. I'm going to be reading from this book this morning, and this book is the last book in the book of is the last book in the Old Testament, and Malachi is also one of the minor prophets whose account was selected to be included in this compilation that we now know as the Bible. Yes, I did say this compilation because after all, the Bible, contrary to what we were taught, was not written. It wasn't that somebody was inspired, or persons were inspired and say, okay, write write a book that we're gonna call the Bible. No. um from Jewish civilization, they were encouraged to document their experiences, and so you find that um, Jewish ancient documentations are many, 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 because a lot of people called themselves prophets. There were lots of seers and priests, and lots of people who decided that they were going to document their experiences. And later on, these documentations were sorted through, and some were chosen to be in this compilation that we now know as the Bible. And that is why sometimes people say, oh, why people left out some of the Bible? Because they want to confuse us. I wouldn't want to see any more of what they left out. I don't think they left out anything to confuse us. I think some things had to be left out because, after all, it's a compilation. If you're going to start compiling a book, say, on other books that have been written about what historic event now? Let's say the civil rights movement. There are lots of books about the civil rights movement, lots of people who wrote about their experiences. So if you are going to compile writings from that era, you are going to read a lot of these documentations, and some of them you're going to leave out for one reason or the other. You might leave out some of them because it is repetitive, just like in the Bible. You might find that the writings of Nathan and the writings of Ezra might be similar because they lived in the same period, they served in the same time, and the king who was king at the time was the same king. So you're going to find that their documentation of that time are going to be the same because they worked closely together. So you might say, okay, that's why they put in the writings of Ezra, but they did not put in the writings of Nathan. And that's understandable. So we'd have to go back now to go find the writings of Nathan to read it. I'm sure they could not possibly put the writings of every single person, every single Jewish person at that time. Couldn't possible. Or else you and I wouldn't be able to lift up the Bible, no matter how finely printed it is. We wouldn't be able to. They would have to put it at one station, and everybody who wants to read something go flip a page and read it, because nobody would be able to carry it around. So that I don't fall for that they left out anything to confuse anybody. But anywho, Sister Winsome is here. The breadwinner is here. Oh, yes, Winsome. Winsome said I don't need to read the Bible themselves, just like how me I read it. And Winsome, if they read, that's why I invite everybody when I'm reading the Bible to get either a book Bible or a Google Bible. My friend was over here the other day. He said I need to read the New International Version. I haven't read the New International Version, but I don't know what the New International Version is going to say that's contrary to what the King James Version that I'm reading has to say. I mean, I'm not so much looking for controversy as much as I am looking for relevance, y- you know. So we are going to continue with this reading. And those of you who don't like to read, you can come here each morning and follow along with me as I read. You know, it is what it is, and you might get some uncomfortable feelings from the scriptures, but for me it is okay. I know for some people who claim to be Christians, they get very, very uncomfortable because there's stuff in the Bible that will do that for you. It will make you uncomfortable when you think about it and think about how you've been socialized and what you have been taught. But anyway, regardless of that, we are going to be reading. Get your book Bible or your Google Bible, guys. You are invited to come along on this journey with me as I continue on this quest to read the Bible from beginning to end. Let us begin. The book of Malachi, however you pronounce it. The book of Malachi. Hold on, let me get to be able to see. Yes, win some. Somebody over here named the breadwinner. That's all right. Okay. Malachi chapter 1. The burden of the word of the Lord to Israel by Malachi. Okay, so this is going to be Malachi speaking as he believed the Lord spoke to him. As he believed the Lord spoke to him. And Malachi was another Jewish prophet. Okay. Hold on, I need a little bit more light here. The burden of the word of the Lord to Israel by Malachi. I have loved you, saith the Lord. Yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother? Said the Lord. Yet I loved Jacob. Guys, we talked about that yesterday, didn't we? We talked about that yesterday. Otis, good morning, Otis. What's up? What are you doing? Welcome into the live, Otis. Thank you so much for coming. Yesterday we talked about the Jacob and Esau debacle that's in the Bible. Remember, I was saying I didn't understand how this God is presented to us as a God who is honest and fair, and all these good things. Yet Jacob, who stole his brother's blessing, was the one who was blessed and given all this favor. And somebody in the chat was saying, well, there was nothing he could do because once his father had given him the blessing, he couldn't take it back, which is true. He couldn't take it back. So Jacob had to have had the blessing. But the thing is, the God of which we speak, who is able to give and to take and to change and to revive and all of that, I ask myself the question, how did he go along with this trickery? How did he go along with this thievery? And that's a legitimate question. Why would he end up blessing the thief? And it seems as though poor Esau was cursed after he was robbed. And I just don't get it. I really don't get it. I know there are lots of people with the same question, but them afraid for ask because them afraid them gonna blaspheme or stuff. I will ask the questions because those things don't scare me. As those things are made up stuff to keep you a slave to something that you don't even know. Yeah, and nobody going to keep me a slave, neither mentally nor physically. Yeah. So I always have that question. Jacob robbed Esau, and so therefore Jacob got the blessing from his father. But the Holy One, the God whom they serve, who is capable of changing and rescinding, was not interested in rescinding that blessing from the thief to the rightful owner. And so Esau ended up having to move away, go live in, go create the country of Edom. And it seems as though even until long, long after his brother had robbed him, the hatred and animosity between the people of Edom and the children of Israel remained. I mean, who was enjoying that? That's my question. Who was benefiting or enjoying that animosity that remained between the children of Israel and the people of Edom, who were the descendants of Esau? We see even when we read the last book there, Zechariah, the people of Edom were, the gods still wanted to destroy them. Why? Because they had mocked the destruction of Israel. So for that, they deserved to be destroyed. Like, seriously? What was it that made this entity have such a penchant for destruction? Could it be the way that they presented their God, the way they wrote about him, that was supposed to drive fear into the other Jewish people who would have read their writings, that has now been translated into into our lives, that we should also be afraid that this entity called God will destroy us if we don't? Because certainly this is how he's presented in these ancient Jewish writings. And some people ask me about why I usually say ancient Jewish writings. So what is it? The Bible. The Bible. Every single book of the Bible is written by a Jewish person. So these are ancient Jewish writings. If you don't like it, close your ears, lock your Bible, and keep moving. But it is what it is. It is the truth. Okay? All right. So before Winsome tell me, may I chat too much? AG, good morning. How are you doing, my love? Good to see you. Patricia is here. Stephen is here. Caveman is here. Welcome into the live. Thank you all so much for stopping by. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Bless up yourself, AG. Good to see you. Be safe on those streets, my love. Okay. Let us continue with the reading. For those of you who are just coming, we are reading the book of Malachi this morning. Let us continue. Now, I only paused because I was talking about Jacob and Esau as Malachi was talking about them. So let us continue. Verse 3 of Malachi chapter 1. This is Malachi saying, the Lord is talking to him. All right? And Malachi said, the Lord said, and I hated Esau. When? Bless up yourself. Ever blessed. People, you're not coming up on here to come corrupt me Bible reading this morning. Wanna not stop asking about game business, Joe. Sophia, bless up yourself. Good morning, my love. How are you doing? Good to see you. Welcome. Thank you so much for coming. A time and a place for everything. Okay, these people keep on up request game business. I mean in a them and them game now. But anyway, thank you all for coming, guys. Thanks for the loves and thanks for the likes. All right. So verse 3 of Malachi chapter 1. And I hated Esau and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. You know, ever things in the Bible, know that here say God say me hate somebody? All right. Make we start read that again. For those of you just coming, somebody just come and tell me if we start over. After this, me not starting over again. Malachi chapter 1. The burden of the word of the Lord to Israel by Malachi. I have loved you, saith the Lord. Yet he say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother? Saith the Lord. Yet I loved Jacob, and I hated Esau, mighty God, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will tear down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever. A wapo Esau do so, mighty God. All things, Miss Priceless. Hot girl, Miss Priceless. How you doing, my love? How you doing? Good to see you, my love. Welcome, welcome. Watch KZN now. Lord have mercy. KZN. Oh, KZN send me one beer. Okay. Thank you, KZN. Thank you. Thank you. How you doing? Thank you for the beer. Not BEER, guys, but BEAR. The beer them not gonna eat me, and me I gonna eat them. Anyway, Miss Princess said, oh, I'm doing great, my love. Happy Wednesday morning. A Wednesday today, right? Oh, Jesus. God, every day when me have to go to work, me think about it. Me say, Lord God, me can't either win some money or something, man. Jeez and peas, But anyway, that was just a side note right there. Le- leave me alone, Sophia. Sophia, leave me alone. All right. Bring all that you have into the storehouse, Kazen. If the others can tell you to bring all that you have into the storehouse, why can't I say it? Bring all that you have into my storehouse. And don't be a give generously. Give generously. Y'all remember? Y'all remember Oliver and Claffy? Oh, beer tonight. Okay. Beer in the day and beer in the night. All right, Kazen. I'm not going to be here tonight because I'm going to be at work. Oh, guys, you all are too much for me right now. You all are too much. But we're going to continue with the reading. We are going to continue with the reading of the Bible as interesting as this Bible is. Sir. Winsome, welcome, Winsome. How are you doing? We are going to continue with the reading. All right. So according to Malachi, the Lord says he hated Esau and he will call Edom. Remember, Edom is the place where Esau went after his brother robbed him. After his brother Jacob robbed him, he went to the country of Edom. Now, according to Malachi, the Lord said, the border, the country of Edom, where Esau is, he hated Esau so much that even the border of wickedness shall be what they will call the country of Edom, and the people against whom the Lord has indignation forever. You know when somebody have indignation for you? When somebody ate up to the ground that you walk on? Yeah. This is how Malachi said God tell him. You notice I say it, how I say this? I say this is what Malachi say God has told him. Malachi says so. Me not say God say it, you know. I say Malachi say God tell him so. And we know how that is. Let's continue. Verse 5. And your eyes shall see, and he shall say, the Lord will be magnified from the border of Israel. A son honors his father, and a servant honors his master. If then I be a father, where is my honor? And if I be a master, where is my fare? You see, I'm telling you, all of these things are designed to get you fearful. He said, if I am your master, where is my fare? As in Fear. Or is that Joseph? Joseph, what's up? Mr. Joseph, I'm there here now, my night wasn't too bad. Every time I wake up, all I can say is the night was good. No matter whether me sleep cripple up, crook up, not cripple up, no, Lord, please, no. But crooked up, or I choose the most uncomfortable places to sleep. But anyway, I mean, I don't know if that's a sign of I mean, I don't know. I don't want to say a sign of torment, but but wherever the tree fall, there shall it lie. So wherever my tree fall at night, that's where I remain until the morning. So and then when I get up, I just be grateful that my eyes open and I am alive. All right, but welcome, Joseph. Thank you so much for coming, my love. All right, guys, we're gonna read chapter 1, verse 6 again of the book of Malachi. It says, "A son honors his father, and a servant honors his master. If then I be a father, where is mine honor? And if I be a master, where is my fare?" All right, let that sink in. "Saith the Lord of hosts unto you, O priests that despise my name. And ye say, wherein have we despised your name? He offer polluted bread upon my altar. And ye say, wherein have we polluted thee? In that he say, the table of the Lord is contemptible." I wonder why you're in a good mood. Let me not have to keep it like that all the time, Joseph. I'm always in a good mood. It's very rarely that somebody disturbs my peace, and you know, yeah, we don't usually get angry. Maybe we get firm, but not really angry, cause me and anger not really work out well. Anything that gonna disturb my peace, me run gone left it. All right. Who else did come up in the chat? We are reading the book of Malachi, chapter 1, guys. If you are interested, get your book Bible or your Google Bible and let us read together. All right. This is my journey to read the Bible from the beginning to the end, and I have chosen to do it out loud on the internet. So whosoever want to follow along can follow along. Okay? Let's continue. Verse 8. And if he offer the blind for sacrifice, is it not evil? And if he offer the lame and sick, is it not evil? Offer it now unto your governor. Will he be pleased with thee, or accept thy person? Said the Lord of hosts. And now I pray you, beseech God that he will be gracious unto you. This hath been by your means. Will he regard your persons? Saith the Lord of hosts. Who is there even among you that would shut the doors for naught? Neither do we kindle fire on mine altar for naught. I have no pleasure in you, saith the Lord. Neither will I accept an offering at your hand. Who am I tell this? Him a tell Malachi this about Esau? People? Is Malachi saying the Lord is telling him this, all of this about Esau's people, the people of Edom? Because that's my understanding. Who else is here who got that understanding? It seems to me like Malachi is saying God is telling him all all these things against the Edomites, who are the descendants of Esau, because he prefaced with, I hated Esau. So I guess all these negative things and all these hateful things that Malachi has documented here, claiming the Lord said to him, is against Esau. All right. That's my understanding for right now, but that doesn't mean when I reread it on my own by myself, I might not interpret it differently. But for right now, that's where I'm at. Hmm. Okay. Let us continue. Verse 11. For from the rising of the sun even unto the going down of the sun, my name shall be great among the Gentiles. And in every place incense shall be offered unto my name, and a pure offering, for my name shall be great among the heathen, saith the Lord. All right, this is what Malachi, so the Lord said to him. Okay, verse 12. But he have profaned it, in that he say, the table of the Lord is polluted, and the fruit thereof, even his meat, is contemptible. He said also, behold, what a weariness is it, and he have snuffed at it, said the Lord of hosts, and he brought that which was torn, and the lame, and the sick. Thus he brought an offering. Should I accept this of your hand? Said the Lord. But cursed be the deceiver, which hath in his flock a male, and voweth and sacrificeth unto the Lord a corrupt thing. For I am a great king, saith the Lord of hosts, and my name is dreadful among the heathen. Now, guys, don't forget, that what I am reading, when you hear it says, saith the Lord, this is Malachi saying, the Lord tell him so. No, anybody can come up at any time and say, God tell them something. How you or me going to know that God tell them something? Huh? We not gonna know, right? So I guess all of these things in the Bible is left to one's belief, whether you want to believe or you don't want to believe. And I do not think that anybody has the right to condemn anybody else for not believing, because I don't have to believe what Malachi say God tell him. I don't have to believe that anybody tell Malachi so. I'm in a malice with God. If God want to tell me something, we tell me. If anything goes all right. But these words, these words, hatred, I hate. I I wouldn't expect, based on how I have been socialized into believing who this God is and what he stands for, the last thing I would ever want to believe is that he would deliberately say he hated somebody. Because honestly, guys, that's not how we have been socialized into believing that this God is. We see him as, we have been socialized, I should say, into believing that he's all good and powerful and merciful, and everything that has to do with goodness and grace and peace is of him. And then we have been socialized into believing that there is this second entity that is called the devil and Satan, and everything that is bad and evil and cruel and unkind is of Satan. But since God created everything and everyone, including Satan, and since he knew everything that was going to happen even before it happened, and since he has the power to destroy everything that is unkind and contentious and not peaceful, why do we continue to experience those negative energies? Why wasn't or wouldn't this Satan be destroyed? And when we can't come up with an answer or a justification for why this Satan has not been destroyed yet, we find comfort in believing that one day somebody's going to come out of the sky and wake up all the dead people and cast away sin, and there's going to be no more sin, and Satan going to be thrown in a pit of fire, and all the people who disobeyed God, they're going to be thrown into a pit of fire. Honestly, it's the same fear mongering like was used in the Bible. You notice I see fear mongering that was used among the Jewish people. That's why a lot of them ran away and went to go to other places, because it was too much for them. Do you all realize that? It was. They were bombarded day and night. Day and night, their leaders bombarded them with fearful rhetorics, telling them, if you don't do this, if you ever dare go marry somebody who is not a descendant of Jacob, you will be destroyed. The fear that those people lived with is the same kind of fear that has a lot of us imprisoned mentally right now. But let us continue reading. Mr. Bertel Campbell in the place. Welcome, Bertel. Welcome. But let us continue. We are now going to be reading chapter 2 of the book of Malachi. And now, O ye priests, this commandment is for you. Now, don't forget, this is Malachi claiming that the Lord is talking to him. All right. And now, O ye priests, this commandment is for you. If ye will not hear, and if ye will not lay it to heart, to give glory unto thy name, saith the Lord of hosts, I will even send a curse upon you. Let me tell you about the fear. Yes, the fear mongering continues. If you don't, you will be cursed. If you, all of that. It's not I know that you will fail or I know that you will come short. But here is what you're going to do if you feel like you are going to fail. It is not. It is just a curse. Fair. Let us continue. And now, O ye priests, this commandment is for you. If ye will not hear, and if ye will not lay to heart, to give glory unto thy name, saith the Lord of hosts, I will even send a curse upon you, and I will curse your blessings. I will curse your blessings. Yea, I have cursed them already, because ye do not lay it to heart. This is a man named Malachi saying God said these things to him. All right? We just want to bear that in mind, because a lot of times when you see the Bible say, oh, the Lord say, we forget that it's somebody who wrote it and said the Lord tell them so. But let us continue. Behold, I will corrupt your seed. Hi guys, I don't take these things lightly, but laughter is my way of alleviating my anxiety. Behold, I will corrupt your seed and spread dung upon your faces. You don't know what is dung? Dung is doo-doo. Okay? So here Malachi say no, God, he must say tell him them something, Him say, God say, behold, I will corrupt your seed. I'm still him think him still talk about the Edomites, the people of Esau's descendants, and spread dung upon your faces, even the dung of your solemn feasts, and one shall take you away with it. And ye shall know that I have sent this commandment unto you, that my covenant might be with Levi, saith the Lord of hosts. My covenant was with him of life and peace, and I gave them to him for the fare wherewith he fared me, and was afraid before my name. So if you say Malachi sound hateful towards Esau, all right, sister. Okay. Because remember, Malachi said this, the God tell him so. Okay. Let us continue. Verse 5, my covenant was with him of life and peace, and I gave them to him for the fare wherein he feareth me, and was afraid before my name. The law of truth was in his mouth. Now I'm talk about Levi, because in a verse 4 it says, and he shall know that I have sent this commandment unto you, that my covenant might be with Levi. So him said the Lord say no. My covenant was with him of life and peace, and I gave them to him. I guess this him he's talking about is Levi, for the fear wherewith he feared me, and was afraid before my name. The law of truth was in his mouth, and iniquity was not found in his lips. He walked with me in peace and iniquity, and did turn many away from iniquity. For the priest's lips should keep knowledge, and they should seek the law at his mouth. For he is the messenger of the Lord of hosts. But he are departed out of the way. He have caused many to stumble at the law. He have corrupted the covenant of Levi, saith the Lord of hosts. Verse 9. Therefore have I also made you contemptible and base before all the people, according as ye have not kept my ways, but have been partial in the law. Have ye not all one Father? Hath not one God created us? Why do we deal treacherously every man against his brother, by profaning the covenant of our fathers? That's my question too. That's my question too, you know. Are we all not created by this one God? Let us continue. Hmm. Malachi got a lot to say here. Now he's on to Judah. He has cursed Esau. Now he has spoken of Levi. Now he's on to Judah. He says, I tell you, Paula, a great question. And even in the Bible, that question is being asked. And in the Bible, I believe, is where the answer should be. But let us continue. Judah hath dealt treacherously, and an abomination is committed in Israel and in Jerusalem. For Judah hath profaned the holiness of the Lord, which he loved, and hath married the daughter of a strange God. Judah has married the daughter of a strange God. I'm going to mark that right there. I'm going to mark that right there. I'm going to mark that. And the reason I'm marking that specifically is because I was just in my thoughts yesterday. I was thinking about David. And I was thinking how you all remember that the daughters of Lot, they raped Lot. It's Sophia says Malachi didn't like his brothers at all. Malachi seems to either be onto something or something is onto him, one way or the other. But yesterday, as he talks here about Judah having married a daughter of a strange God, I was thinking about how, according to the prophets of Israel, remember Moses had told the children of Israel they were not allowed to marry outside of the descendants of Jacob, right? Because they didn't want to, quote unquote, corrupt their lineage. Even though a lot of the people around them were their relatives, they were still not allowed to marry anybody who was not a descendant of Jacob. I tell you all the time, while Moses was telling the people that, though, he was married to a whole Ethiopian. But put that aside, we're going to talk about David. David's lineage is also from Moab. Remember, for those of you who read the Bible, remember, Moab was one of those sons that was born to Lot and his daughters. Remember when Sodom and Gomorrah burned down and Lot and his two daughters escaped into the cave and they were there for some time. The daughters, when them I start ride them, I know some if you say it, but when the daughters were in heat and they wanted, why am I saying heat? Heat sound like animal, right? But when the daughters um wanted to have adult relations, let me say it like that. Come on, Trev, get yourself together. When the daughters wanted to have adult relations with a man, there was no man there, only their father. They make him drunk and then they molested him. Both of them got pregnant and each of them had a son. One son was Ammon and the other son was Moab. Now, the people who are the Moabites in the Bible are the descendants of the son that was called Moab. Now, if you all remember, in the book of Ruth, Naomi and her husband Emelech and their two sons, Malon and Chilion, had gone to Moab. You know, those people, they like to walk about. They go to other countries for whatever reason, for one reason or the other. They had gone over to Moab. That was Naomi and her husband and their two sons. And while they were over there, her two sons married to Moabite women. One married Orpah, one married Ruth. The husband died over there, the two sons died over there. Now, me just like giving you the little history, someone can follow me. I mean, I like just drop things down, so I like when y'all follow my chain of thought. So when Naomi left Moab, say she was going back to Jerusalem to her people, she told her two daughters-in-law, say, y'all can go back to your parents because your husbands, who are my sons, they are dead. I'm not going to have any more sons for you all to marry. And even if a man should come tonight and marry me and get me pregnant, are you all going to stay with me until these sons become men for you to marry them? No. And I'm getting old, so I will go back to my people and you all can go back to yours. Ruth was the one who said, no, wherever you go, I will go. Your people will be my people and your God will be my God. Remember, at that time, Ruth was not serving the God of Israel. That's not how she was raised. She was raised to worship the gods that they worship over there in Moab. Their God of stone, of statue, of stone, of wood, of dirt, of whatever it is that they did over there. Now, fast forward to Ruth marrying Boaz. Boaz was a Jew, but Ruth was a Moabite. And from that marriage between Ruth the Moabite and Boaz the Jewish man came David. Now remember, David, not immediately, because remember they were married, they got Obed, and Obed had Jesse, and Jesse had David. But David's lineage, if you want to say it was corrupted, would have been corrupted right there from his great grandmother being Ruth, who was a Moabite. So when they say that the Judah hath profaned the holiness of the Lord which he loved, and hath married the daughter of a strange god. Remember, David's line is coming from the line of Judah, because David's great, 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 great grandfather was Pharez. Now, y'all remember that Pharez was the one of the children that was born to Tamar and Judah. And remember the story of Tamar and Judah? No, don't make me get into it this morning, but I'm going to, because I know say, oh no, remember, but me like to remind you know. Remember the story of Tamar and Judah? Now remember that Tamar was married. Tamar was married to Judah's son. And the son was wicked and he was slain by God. Then Tamar was given the second son, and he also was wicked, so he was slain. Now Judah had a third son, but he wasn't old enough to be married to anybody. So Judah told Tamar, go on back to your father, and when this son get old enough, I'm going to give him to you to marry. So Tamar went back to her father, and she waited and she waited and she waited and she waited. And the son became a big man, and Judah never kept his word. So when Tamar heard that Judah was going up to the mountains to go shear his sheep, she dressed up like a prostitute and sat out on the street, because Judah loves skin. Judah, yeah. So she sat out there like a prostitute, buy skin, right? After he went into her, he told her he's going to pay her with a goat. She said, I don't trust you that you're going to send back the goat to give to me. So you give me your signet and your staff. That's the little thing that we around the head and the staff. Let me keep these for you. When you send back the goat, whoever you send the goat with, I will give them back this cane and this signet to give to you. Okay? All exactly, Sophia, because by this time Tamar would have been an older woman by this time. But anyway, when the person came back with the goat and asked the people, where is the prostitute? Them said a prostitute not there here. We not have no prostitute here. The person couldn't find Tamar. Months went by and it was revealed that Tamar was pregnant. Them call up Judah and say, look, your daughter-in-law pregnant. She's not supposed to have no man unless you give her the last son. And she not married to the last son yet. So that means that she has sleep with somebody else. Judah say, Tamar forgets the one to death. Tamar take out the little cane and the little signet. And he said, and she told them, the person who is responsible for this pregnancy is the owner of the signet and this staff. When they looked at the signet and the staff, they realized that it belonged to Judah. And Judah, that's how he ordered the people no longer to stone Tamar. Tamar ended up having twins by him, and one of those twins was Pharez. And that Pharez ended up being the foreparent of David. So when you hear them say David from the tribe of Judah, that's where that come from. All right? So now you know. You can't say I me tell you so, because if me tell you so, in the Bible me read it. Okay, me now make up no story. All right? So let us continue. Let us continue. Verse 12 of chapter 2 of the book of Malachi. The Lord will cut off the man that doeth this. You hear the Lord will cut off the man who marry a daughter from a strange land, a daughter who worship a strange God. And this is Malachi saying, the Lord will cut off the man that does this. The master and the scholar out of the tabernacles of Jacob, and him that offers an offering unto the Lord. And this have ye done again, covering the altar of the Lord with tears, with weeping, and with crying out, insomuch that he regards not the offering any more, or receiveth it with goodwill at his hand. Verse 14. Yet he say, wherefore? Because the Lord hath been witness. The Lord hath been witness between thee and the wife of thy youth, against whom thou hast dealt treacherously. Yet is she thy companion, and the wife of thy covenant. And did not he make one? Yet had he the residue of the Spirit. And wherefore one? That he might seek a godly seed. Therefore, take heed to your spirit, and let none deal treacherously against the wife of his youth. For the Lord, the God of Israel, said that he hates putting away. For one covereth violence with his garments, saith the Lord of hosts. Therefore, take heed to your spirit, that he deal not treacherously. Verse 17. He have wearied the Lord with your words. Yet he say, wherein have we wearied him? When he say, every one that doeth evil is good in the sight of the Lord. Let me read that again. He have wearied the Lord with your words. Yet he say, wherein have we wearied him? When he say, every one that doeth evil is good in the sight of the Lord, and he delights in them. Or, where is the God of judgment? Okay, so here he's saying that, who is he talking to at this point? To Judah, telling him it's like you give the Lord headache. Us chick, us chickilin, US chick, US chick Eileen. I don't know. I'm trying to, but welcome, US chick Eileen, welcome. So I guess here he's saying that Judah. Is it Judah he's saying? Because now he's talking to Judah. He spoke of Esau, then he spoke of Levi. Now he's speaking of Judah. He says, you have wearied the Lord with your words. You have said that everyone that doeth evil is good in the sight of the Lord, and you have delight, and he has delight in them. Where is the God of judgment? But just so dismiss. All right, we're going to revisit this chapter here. I'm going to revisit this chapter when I am by myself and take my time to see if I can decipher what is going on here. But anyway, we are going to move right along into the last chapter. No, not the last one, but chapter 3 of the book of Malachi. And this morning we're reading all of the book of Malachi. Chapter 3, my friends. Behold, I will send my messenger, and he shall prepare the way before me. And the Lord whom ye seek shall suddenly come in his temple, even the messenger of the covenant, whom ye delight in. Behold, he shall come, said the Lord of hosts. But who may abide the day of his coming? And who shall stand when he appears? For he is like a refiner's fire, and like fuller's soap. And he shall sit as a refiner and purifier of silver. And he shall purify the sons of Levi, and purge them as gold and silver, that they may offer unto the Lord an offering in righteousness. Then shall the offering of Judah and Jerusalem be pleasant unto the Lord, as in the days of old, and as in former years. And I will come near to you to judgment, and I will be a swift witness against the sorcerers, and against the adulterers, and against the false swearers, and against those that oppress the hireling in his wages, the widow and the fatherless, and that turn aside the stranger from his right. And fear not me, saith the Lord of hosts, for I am the Lord, I change not. Therefore ye sons of Jacob are not consumed. Even from the days of your fathers ye are gone away from my ordinances, and have not kept them. Return unto me, and I will return unto you, said the Lord of hosts. But he said, wherein shall we return? Verse 8. Will a man rob God? Yet he have robbed me. But he say, wherein have we robbed thee? In tithes and offerings. Well, other people, let me read this again. Verse 7 says, even from the days of your fathers ye are gone away from my ordinances, and have not kept them. Return unto me, and I will return unto you, said the Lord of hosts. But he said, wherein shall I return? Wherein shall we return? Will a man rob God? Yet he have robbed me. But he say, wherein have we robbed thee? In tithes and offering. He are cursed with a curse, for he have robbed me, even this whole nation. Bring ye all the tithes into the storehouse, that there may be meat in my house, and prove me now herewith, saith the Lord of hosts, if I will not open you the windows of heaven, and pour you out a blessing, that there shall not be room enough to receive it. Let me read this again. Let me read this again. Bring ye all the tithes into the storehouse, that there may be meat in my house, and prove me now herewith, saith the Lord of hosts, if I will not open you the windows of heaven, and pour you out a blessing, that there shall not be room enough to receive it. And I will rebuke the devourer for your sakes, and he shall not destroy the fruits of your ground, neither shall your vine cast her fruit before the time in the field, saith the Lord. Now this is Malachi saying, the Lord saying this to him, Don't forget. And all nations shall call you blessed, for he shall be a delightsome land, saith the Lord of hosts. Your words have been stout against me, saith the Lord. Yet he say, what have we spoken so much against you? He have said, it is vain to serve God. And what profit is it that we have kept his ordinance, and that we have walked mournfully before the Lord of hosts? And now we call the proud happy. Yea, they that work wickedness are set up, Yea, they that tempt God are even delivered. Then they that feared the Lord spake often one to another, and the Lord hearkened and heard it, and a book of remembrance was written before him for them that feared the Lord, and that thought upon his name. And they shall be mine, saith the Lord of hosts, in that day when I make up my jewels, and I will spare them as a man spares his own son that serves him. Then shall he return and discern between the righteous and the wicked, between him that serves God and him that serves him not. Let us continue. We are now on to chapter 4. We some of us stop Rob God. When me a Rob God off, sister. When me a Rob God off. Oh, it's so you're not easy. All right. The Malachi say, God say, on to bring all of the stuff coming out the storehouse. Bring all of the tithes and offering. All of the money coming out the storehouse. Malachi say, God says so. All right. We're going to see if Malachi going to tell us what's the motive now in chapter 4. We're on to chapter 4, and actually, this is the last chapter of the book of Malachi. Tafarim is in the place. Tafarim, welcome. How you doing? Thank you for stopping by. Let us read Malachi chapter 4, the last chapter of the book of Malachi, and also the last chapter of the Old Testament. For behold, the day has come that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble. And the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. But unto you that fear my name shall the Son of Righteousness, and that Son is S-U-N, shall the Son of Righteousness arise with healing in his wings, and he shall go forth and grow up as calves of the stall, and he shall tread down the wicked, and they shall be ashes under the soles of your feet in the day that I shall do this, said the Lord of hosts. Remember ye the law of Moses my servant, which I commanded unto him in Horeb for all Israel, with the statutes and judgments. Behold, I will send you Elijah the prophet before the coming of the great and dreadful day of the Lord. I will send you Elijah the prophet. So, my question is, did Elijah live after Malachi? It sounds like Elijah lived after Malachi, right? Because we did read of Elijah in the Kings, right? We did read of Elijah in the Kings. So this would tell me that, because guys, the Bible isn't written in chronological order. These books are gathered together. I'm not gonna say like haphazardly, but not with like great thought about putting them in the order in which they occurred. that wasn't the thought at the time. The thought at the time, I believe, was just getting these Jewish writings and just sorting them through and deciding which ones are going to be put in this compilation and which ones were not going to be put in. And so when they put them in, they didn't put them in chronological order and say, okay, this happened 100 year BC. Let me put it first. This happened 90 years BC. Let me put it next. This happened 50 years BC. Let me put it. They didn't do that. They just chuck them in, if you will. So here he says, Malachi says, the Lord says to him, behold, I will send you Elijah the prophet before the coming of the great and dreadful day. And this great and dreadful day is this day that he spoke of, in which he's going to burn everything, everybody, all the wickedness of the earth like an oven. Let's read verse 5 again. Behold, I will send you Elijah the prophet before the coming of the great and dreadful day of the Lord, and he shall turn the heart of the fathers to the children, and the heart of the children to their fathers, lest I come and smite the earth with a curse. All right. So that is the end of the reading of the book of Malachi. The ending of Malachi there is rather interesting. I'm going to take a little bit of time and reread it, on my own and see if I can find some other parts of the scripture to justify or qualify what Malachi is saying here, because this is rather interesting. I'm not sure if Malachi was mentioned before in the Bible. He may have, but certainly I can't remember every single name or every single person who was mentioned in the Bible. But I'm sure when I sit down by myself to research it and go it over, I will be able to determine whether or not Malachi lived before Elijah, because we have already read about Elijah in the Kings. So that would mean that the book of Malachi should have been before the Kings, right? If it was supposed to be chronologically um, put together. But anyway, that is where we are going to end the reading this morning. I want to say thanks to everybody who came into the live. I sincerely appreciate you all. Those of you who contributed in the chat, Paula said, very interesting. I tell you, very interesting, my love. Winsome, AG, Joseph, Card. I see Deanie here, bless up herself. Lots of people came into the chat. I know a lot of people didn't say anything, but they listened. We currently have like 11 people still on the talk here. I want to say thanks to all of you who came in. Those of you, where's my friend Kazan? Kazan here, and Sophia and Paula, and I think Caveman was here, and Otis and others. Thank you all so much for having stopped by. The journey continues, my friend. The journey continues. Tomorrow morning, we are not going to be reading the Bible tomorrow morning because, I'm working tonight. So tomorrow morning when I get off work, 8 o'clock, I'm not in the mood for reading the Bible. I'm tired. So, so we will resume the reading of the Bible on Saturday morning. On Saturday morning, we will start the reading of the New Testaments. So tell your friend and your friend and your friends and your friends to come out. Saturday morning, we're going to start the reading of the New Testaments. Ever since I've been reading the Bible, people in the chat have been telling me, wait till you get to the New Testament. Wait till you get to the New Testament. And 2 years later, we are finally there at the New Testament. We are going to be starting this on Saturday morning at around this time, this same place. You all should join me then. Uh, Sophia say, I love you, blogging. Thank you so much, my love. Thank you so much. Yeah. I don't know why I decided to do this out loud, but I mean, may as well. May as well. If I'm going to be sitting here and reading it by myself, may as well share it with everybody else. All right. And you are off that day too, so you will be here. Okay, my love. So around this time in the morning, I usually start at 4, between 4 or 5 o'clock, somewhere around there. We will be reading. We will be reading, starting the reading of the New Testament. And look at it. The New Testament come up just about the same time as Easter is coming up with the crucifixion. Ain't that something? I think nothing is happening by chance. But that's what we're going to do on Saturday. So thanks again, everybody who has come into the live. I sincerely appreciate you all. I hope, if nothing else, you all learned something from from the live this morning, because I come here not just to flap my lips, but to help us as we go along, as we the same questions and concerns I have about the Bible. I am sure as a book that it is not specific to me, but there are others out there who have the same concerns and questions about the Bible, but them just can't bother read it because it too big and it too long and it too confusing and all these things. Well, I will be the guinea pig. I will read it, and the confusion, I will bear the confusion of you all on my own shoulders. All right. That's going to be it from me for this morning, my friends. Until next time, this is Trev from Trevessence, where your journey matters. Have yourselves a great day, everybody, and I will see you all later. Have a great day, guys. Winsome, we will talk later. All right. I'm gonna hit the streets right now. See you all later.